So we're back. You guys made it past class 10, which means maybe you're sticking with us for a minute.
Good.
Here we are at class 11. I'm Chandler.
Marc.
And we're glad to see you back in the Technicolor Dreamcoat of religion, how religion gets made.
Today, class number 11, Anthropomorphism Part 2. I call it Faces in the Clouds, where we actually get to the idea of God, but we'll approach God as an idea, not as a who, but a what. What is God? If you open up the hood of God, what's going to be inside that people understand and imagine that God's going to be like? Every religion gives us a God is this kind of person. A God is a who. Like they ask you the question, who is God? In fact, that could be in your catechism. Who is God? And they want you to learn about that. But in our academic study religion classroom, like we're in now, we study the whatness of God. So you got your critical thinking ready? Let's go. So I'm just going to show you my collection of pictures that most of which I've taken that show ideas about how we anthropomorphize things. This first one is the egg that was actually on my stove. I took this picture. Looks like a smiling rock.
It's a happy rock.
Yes, happy rock. Eyes.
Eyes, yeah.
Another eye.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Ears. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
That is, yeah. Little smiley face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another smiley face.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here's something that just popped in my head. Anybody who's ever followed astronomy, it's called the Eye of God Nebula.
Okay, yeah.
And it looks just like a human eye. You should look it up.
Yeah.
Because if we weren't anthropomorphic with things, we would see that and think it's a bunch of stars and planets.
And actually, if you look at a certain place on Mars, check out human figure, human face on Mars.
Yep.
And except when you get really close in, it ain't at all human. But
from a distance.
From a distance, it looks like it. And here's our last one,
The
shell.
surprise shell.
Yes. Okay. Now.
Opening exercise. Remember we asked you a question last time about what is your anthropomorphic God or what isn't? Like what does that look like to you? So today, like Marc said, we're speaking about God. Again, that's what we do. And so here's an actual exercise to complete this sentence 12 different ways. God is blank. And that's what we asked you last class, to say God is what? Mm-hmm. Well, here's a way that you can look at it and give us 12 different things that God is to you.
Yeah. And if you came up with something that's not anthropomorphic, my email's in the show notes.
We'd love to see it.
Yeah. Okay. So our goals today, we want to look at the various ways our ancestors, that's the human ones, around the world have understood what God is, and
to demonstrate that without the imagination, there would be no God, nowhere, no time, never, ever.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah. The imagination is the origin of all of our divinities. Mm-hmm. Let that last line just sink in. I'm not saying that by imagining God, we bring God into actual existence. No. Mm-hmm. Instead, God is basically dead to me unless I imagine God in ways that are healthy and long-lasting.
So, I'm going to ask the question, very basic, very important.
Yeah.
What is God? Now, what is God? This is an academic classroom, not a Sunday school room. We said this last time.
Remember that,
right? So this, we're not gonna smack your knuckles if you, if you talk off.
You won't go to hell.
Yeah, no. I mean, we don't think. But figuring out the whatness of God helps to reframe this entire discussion. Not just today, but in any time that we look at what our faith looks like.
Yeah. So as a quick review, we're going to return to Rudolf Otto, which we looked at near the end of class 8. Mm-hmm. And he had these criteria for what was a real God. And again, what his criteria was basically when he was writing back in the early part of the 1900s. But he said to have a real experience of God, an authentic one, you had to have this absolute mystery, a tongue-tying, mouth-closed mystery that you just could not fathom. Mm-hmm. Then you had to have a tremendous experience, an overwhelming experience. Think of like a hurricane lasting 24 hours right over your head, and you're outside, and you say to yourself, any moment I'm just going to be washed away or blown away. And then fascinating. That is, you are attracted to it. You want to get closer and closer. So the experience of God first has to scare the out of you, and then you have to get closer to it. Maybe this is why we like horror movies.
Right?
Yeah,
It scares us, and then we want to know more.
yeah.
We want to see more.
Or as this next slide unpacks it, here's Rudolf Otto's chart. You see the alien otherness of God. You experience the divine wrath. You experience God's majesty. And then you also experience this urgent, active energy that is just out of this world. But then with the fascination part, you experience love and grace and salvation, maybe even vocation. Maybe here's your marching orders. Kind of weird that you get that all in one package.
All in one package, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So then there's the objective basis of it. So the incommensurability with the mind, right? That's the mysterium, the holy other part. And then the tremendum, the unpredictable destructiveness, that raw power, constant flux and movement of what God is. And then, let's say nurture by nature, the beauty, the union, the things that bring us back to what God looks like and is.
Oh, yeah. Peace with you, God.
Right.
And then our human response, and the first one is after alien otherness and incommensurability with God, we get this astonishment. We just are dumb, stupid,
Flabbergasted.
Yeah, there's no words.
Yep.
And then for the tremendum, we experience dread, or we experience the submergence of self and wonder. And then for the fascination, we feel this sense of belonging and love and ecstasy, which are pretty important.
Yeah.
So, not bad.
So without these three, can we even say there is a God?
Yeah. I bet you most of our ideas of God leave out the mysterium and the tremendum.
And the tremendum. And
We
it's
want
just
God.
the fascination.
We want God all logical. We want God predictable and never coming to us with hurricane force energy.
Right.
No, can't handle that. Can't handle that.
It's too much.
You can write me if you like about it, if you disagree. But most of the time we don't follow Otto. We anthropomorphize like hell, okay? Which weakens things. But like I said, we need it just to understand that there is a God and there's a relationship, perhaps.
Yep. Anthropomorphizing God leads to a closed cul-de-sac of thinking, right? If we start with the human being as our model for God, we usually never stop using that human being as our only model for God.
Round and round we go.
Right. It's like a closed psychological system. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's just one thing after another. So remember, one single idea is dangerous if it's the only one we have.
Yeah. Okay. And I've said this before, a human-inspired idea or image of God is, let's just be real, the textbook definition of an idol. Ouch.
Yep.
I want to show you some masks, because masks do some really cool things. And whenever we see God, or I think we understand God, it always comes with a mask. And what masks do is show you one and only one feature. But it's hiding all the 10,000 things that are behind that mask that you'll never see. Think of yourself in Halloween, when you used to dress up, or still dress up, I hope, and you go out and you dress up as your favorite superhero or whatever it is, princess, and everybody can see who you are. They may not see your face, but they see what you have done. But they don't understand the real you.
Right.
Okay.
It's just what they see superficially.
So imagine God, your God, having one single mask, male mask, female mask, angry mask, whatever it is that you have, but what that's hiding is all the other attributes that God may have.
So what do masks do? Masks can exaggerate.
Yeah.
They can make things more. They can hide what's underneath them. Oftentimes that's what they do.
Yeah.
They can reveal
Yeah.
things about the person,
Yeah.
the entity, whatever it is. They can alter people's perception of us.
Yeah. And you're involved with the theater arts here at Mars Hill University. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah. Why do people choose to act? Why do people choose to be on stage?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, they get to play a part they don't get to play. They
Yep.
get to play a part they don't get to play.
They get to be their own mask.
Yeah.
Right?
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So, anybody wearing a mask now?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love this top right picture. It's by Magritte. The two lovers, they have these masks and they're both kissing each other, thinking that that mask of the other person is who they really are. Ouch.
Yep.
Okay.
Take that one.
Yeah. Masks reveal, they hide.
Yep.
And look what we've done to Jesus.
So I want to ask a question about this.
Uh-oh.
If you had never seen, as a child, right, as a kid, and you came from a very conservative background as
Yeah.
a child, if you had never seen a depiction of Jesus, okay, just like on here, just like this slide,
Yeah.
of exactly what we think of when we think of Jesus,
Yeah.
what would you think Jesus looks like?
Well, if I had to paint him in Sunday school, which I guess I did, he'd be white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he'd be male.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah. The bottom right picture here is an artist's rendition of what he most likely could have looked like. Short, squat, and very brown.
yep, yep,
Suck on that.
right?
Yeah. So the point of our demonstration so far is that masks reveal one thing and only one thing.
And masks hide the other 10,000 innumerable things.
Yeah. So our masks contain, and they make it accessible, that which is felt, and they can even get you in touch with what's wild and inaccessible, as you talked about on the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's our point so far. So here's our test picture. What does this one image portray, reveal, and what does it not reveal, that is, hide, about these two so-called divine figures?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I bet the answers to that are wide and varied
Yeah. Yeah.
for all of our listeners, all
Yeah.
of our students.
Yeah, I imagine since we live in a dualist culture with a dualist religion, that the guy on the right is all wonderful goodness and light.
Omnipotent, omniscient, all the omnis.
And there ain't nothing wrong or the least bit
bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the guy on the left
Is all the bad.
The exact opposite.
Yep.
Nothing good, nothing redeeming in him at all.
At all.
And that's what a dualistic worldview does. It's not what the faith of Jesus himself was talking about, because that wasn't dualistic. We are now dualistic. It's either or. And you fight the one, you love the other. Okay? So we'll talk about dualism a lot in the next little while.
Yep.
So, a God defined is?
A limited God,
Yeah.
because there's parameters on him,
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. A Dieu défini, c'est Dieu fini.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, in French. Yeah. So that's what it is.
That was-
So a loose translation of that is, our gods are, because they reflect us, sometimes awful. Woo.
All right. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Okay. But history is littered with old, discarded, anthropomorphic gods. The more the gods resemble human beings, the less useful they are, and the shorter their shelf life.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the test for if your God is anthropomorphic. If he, she, they, it like or hate or pretty much follow what you like or hate,
Yeah. Yeah.
then they're anthropomorphic.
I think we've said this now 4 times.
At least.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's
It's a good point.
Okay, so there is a video coming up in your feed here in just a minute about the God graveyard. But all those anthropomorphic gods that have been worshipped just as strongly and carefully as gods that you may have, or God that you may have worshipped, or that your friends have worshipped, except they have died off. Okay, so.
So the reason we get bored of God, right? And we get bored of God, we go, oh, well, there's got to be more to it.
Yeah.
We get bored of God and that gods don't last is directly because of our anthropomorphism. When we tie a God to some human attribute, male, female, angry, vengeful, jealous, loving, gracious, giving, whatever it is, and so on, well, that image grows stale because we've squeezed out the utter mystery of God. We have explained God, right? Which is really a religious crime, you know, if you think about it. Because if you ask me, well, let's watch this short video, okay?
Yeah, but I just have one thing. Can you still say hashtag?
Say absolutely hashtag.
Okay. Hashtag boring.
Hashtag boring.
Yeah.
Yep. It's true.
So Secular Students at Iowa is an organization that first provides a community to secular students on campus, and second advocates for secular values, such as the separation of church and state. So our event here today, Graveyard of the Gods, is a demonstration that Blaise Pascal's wager does not work. Pascal's wager says that you should believe in a God because the chance that God exists and believing in him is greater than if God happens to exist and you don't believe in him, then you're going to go to hell and face severe punishment. So that wager only works when there's one God. If there's thousands of gods throughout history and throughout several cultures, it starts to fall apart. It's very hard to worship some of the 8,000 gods throughout history that we know about. My favorite is Coco Mama back here. Coco Mama is the Incan goddess of recreational drug use.
I think it's very educational. I actually just like seeing all these gods from different cultures. Also, it's really nice to kind of work towards getting rid of the stigma against being an atheist, because I feel like there's a huge stigma going around where people don't want to associate themselves with being an atheist when in fact a lot of times they are. So yeah.
We have seen this slide before. I think it's worth bearing again. If horses, or your animal of choice here, could have conceived the gods, they no doubt would be conceived of as horses from Xenophanes.
And from Mary Daly, famous feminist, love her. When God is male, the male is God.
Yeah.
And that quote goes on to say some other things, but I think that conceptualizes what we're looking for.
Yeah. And nothing's more dangerous than an idea when it's the only one we have, from Émile Auguste Chartier. And then there's a guy named Marc Mullinax. I don't know where he is. But without the imagination, he said, there will be no God. Most of what we see is already behind our eyes. So anthropomorphism works in two ways in our dualist worldviews. First, God is good, okay? Or the divine image is good. And also, God as bad. Because if you think about the devil, we've basically made the devil into a god.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not as powerful as the god on the white horse, but we do make...
Or we don't want to believe that it's as powerful.
Yeah, but we make this guy, he can be anywhere, he knows everything, and that's what we do in dualism. In the Hebrew Bible, there is a lot of anthropomorphic descriptions of God. God sets his face against evil in Leviticus.
How about God stretched out his hand? We've all seen the pictures on the Sistine Chapel from Exodus 7:5 and Isaiah 23:11.
Okay. How about God scattered the enemies with his arm? Psalm.
There you go. It's human. God stoops down to look on the heavens and the earth from Psalms.
Okay. He keeps his eye on the land, Deuteronomy.
Or even the earth is God's footstool from back in Isaiah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got mind, heart, fingers, ears, voice, nose, back, arms, feet of God. It's all,
Genesis 1:26.
And that means that we are made in that image.
In the image of him, yeah.
In anthropomorphism, we always see ourselves. If it ain't in us, then we won't see it outside of us at all. Today's short class has been brought to you by the concepts of anthropomorphism,
Masks.
and projection.
And real quick before we close, I just kind of wanted to mention, I always try to throw in some psychology or some therapy or something into this. And so here's an idea that as we work through mental health, right, and we work through emotions and feelings and trauma and things of that sort, we talk about masking.
Yeah.
We talk about our shadow self.
Yes, we do.
Very, very Jungian thing.
Yeah.
We anthropomorphize a lot of our own emotions.
Yeah.
And so it happens in everything we do.
Yeah.
So of course it's going to happen with our faith walk, with our beliefs.
Yeah. And yes, it does make things more relatable, but you have to somehow put in your critical thinking and say, when is it not helpful and I'm making this into my little pet idol?
Right, yeah. So like Marc said, critical thinking, make sure you're doing it. Don't become someone's bitch.
Okay. Next time we'll look at a lot of ways that humans have conceived of the gods, and I hope you'll be with us next time.
Until next time, I'm Chandler.
Marc.
We'll see you soon.
And
Don't become someone's bitch.
do your critical thinking and your homework.
All the above.
Write me.
See ya.